Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Olivia. In today's video, I want to talk to you about why I don't celebrate Halloween. So, if you are new to me, I am a children's book author, a self-help book author, a writing coach, and I design book covers, edit books, all of the things. I am a solopreneur of an online store where I sell all of my self-published books and all of my writing services. I want to thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. Today's topic is not related to writing or mom life, but it's related to my faith. So it's October, and a lot of people love Halloween and celebrate Halloween, and it's a big thing. Me, I don't celebrate Halloween. I have never celebrated Halloween. A little background: my mother is Jamaican. I'm US born in St. Thomas, Virgin Islands. Lived bi-coastal between there and Jamaica when I was younger. Lived in Jamaica full time for 10 years of my childhood, and then moved to New York. In Jamaica, Halloween does not exist. And so that's why I made it through my childhood, most of my childhood, without the subject of Halloween coming up. When I moved to New York when I was 15 years old, that was the first time I heard the term Halloween. And I, ask my friends and those in my inner circle, hey, what's Halloween? What's this about? And that's when I learned it was a lot about candy and dressing up as scary people and character and all of that. And instantly, as a believer, because I'm a devout Christian, instantly I'm like, where is the fun in somebody scaring you? Where is the fun in dressing up as something scary, right? And so it makes me think of like biblical principles, right? The Bible tells you don't talk to the dead, you don't pray to the dead, you don't even really, interact in any way with things that are scary. And so that's my big reason why I don't celebrate Halloween. And it goes hand in hand with, I don't watch scary movies, ever. Think of the older ones. So I'm over 50. So think of even the older kind of scary movies. I can't even think of anything besides Chucky. I've never seen it. The Exorcist, I've never seen it. I don't watch any kind of scary movie. I do remember when I was in high school and I worked at a movie theater in New York. There are benefits to when you work in a movie theater. You can get free movie tickets and things like that. And I do remember one of my friends at the time, we're still friends. I think it was Lisa. I had gotten tickets and she wanted to see some scary movie that had a warlock in it. And I kept telling her, no, I don't watch scary movies, right? It's disturbing to me. I don't watch scary movies. And so she talked me into it, and I did go into the theater for like a few minutes while they were filming. And, it was some sort of weird, I think it was some sort of warlock or something. And literally I saw like maybe a couple minutes of it and I was out of there. Like, it's never been my thing. To me, that's not fun. So I don't do that. But as a believer, as a devout Christian, and a member of, Pentecostals or Assemblies of God churches, it's come up in conversation because some Christians do celebrate Halloween. They think that there's nothing wrong with celebrating Halloween. And I've always been on the side like, no. Anything that's not bringing glory to God, anything that's, scaring people and all of that. It's a no for me. And so I don't judge other people for doing that. I just don't participate. Now, when I first got married, in my first marriage, that was a conversation me and my husband at the time had about how we would raise our children, right? And he agreed that we wouldn't participate in Halloween. But when we had our first daughter, it came back up. The topic of Halloween came back up, and he wanted to take her, our oldest, wanted to take her to go trick-or-treating at some relative's house. And I was like, hold on, wait a minute. We had this conversation prior to marriage. We had this conversation prior to having children. Now that we have a daughter, this is not what we agreed on. So it was an area of like an argument. And I was like, nope, we talked about this before. We agreed on this. You're not breaking the commitment that we made, right? And so all of my children, the oldest is going to be 28 in like 3 weeks, followed by 25, followed by 17, followed by 12. They have never been trick-or-treating because it's a conversation as a family we've had, we continue to have, and so it's just a no for us. Now, there are alternatives to that. Some of the alternatives that I've done over the years is, although I don't participate in trick-or-treat, we've had neighboring kids that would come to our door on Halloween and, they're trick-or-treating. And so I would always give them a Bible tract. I talk to them about Jesus loves them, right? So we've done that. And then there were years where we just turned the lights off and we didn't participate at all, right? Now, I'm in Michigan and I've been here for 28 years now. My first church that I was a member of, Full Gospel Temple, they did not, support trick-or-treating. But what they did do was they provided what we call a harvest festival or a family fun night for the children in our church and the surrounding children in the community to come. It was a safe place, right? Every kid would leave with a bag of candy. There were games and food and Christian movies and a salvation message. And they did that every year while I was there. I was a member of that church, I want to say, for just under 10 years. They still practice that today. So it's no scary costumes are allowed. The kids can wear like biblical character or Disney character costumes. And like hundreds of children come. And because of the salvation message that they would offer, dozens of children would give their lives to the Lord at that event every year. And so for me, that has been the alternatives to Halloween. Now, I've caught some flack about not celebrating Halloween over the years. I do remember my oldest son was in maybe kindergarten or first grade at the time, was attending a public school, and his class was discussing Halloween, and the kids were talking about what costumes they would be wearing. And he outright said, I don't celebrate Halloween. And he said at the time, and if you celebrate Halloween, you're going to hell. So, he's kindergarten, first grade, right? So the hell piece might have been a little bit harsh, but he got suspended from school over that. And I thought that was crazy. Like, I was up in arms because I thought that, how bizarre is that, right? This is America. We all get to celebrate how we want or don't celebrate, whatever we don't want. And we all get to say, what we believe. Why is my 5-6-year-old getting suspended from school? And this was the caveat. The school system was great. The neighborhood we lived in at the time was great, but there was an issue. The school would have a Halloween parade every single year, and the principal of the elementary school would dress up like a witch. So she's the head of the school, right? And so it's at her privilege to have a Halloween parade, and she dresses up like a witch every single year, and she goes down the hall of the school, on her little broom and all of that. So of course it made sense that she would be upset at my son at the time, my 5-6-year-old at the time, and suspended him. And I had an issue with that, and I let her know clear that I did not agree with that I thought it was way left, that she can dress up as a witch at school. And there were other kids in the school who were Christians who didn't believe that, who felt uncomfortable with that. But yet that didn't change her mind. But yet, because my son shared with his classroom at an open conversation about Halloween that he didn't celebrate, and he believed that people who celebrated Halloween would, the kids would go to hell. Kids who went trick-or-treating would go to hell. So over the years, we've gotten flack for that. I've gotten flack for that personal belief. But what I also learned out of that was my children, I kept them out of school on Halloween, and I still do that to today. So we're talking about from my 28-year-old, the oldest, to my youngest, who's 12 years old. If their school has a Halloween parade or some kind of trick-or-treating parade, I let the teacher know every single year. I send an email and I have a conversation with the teachers like, hey, we are devout Christians. We do not participate in Halloween. I do not want my children to have anything to do with Halloween. Don't send home a Halloween pencil. Don't send home no scary stickers. If they're doing some kind of activities, don't find an alternate activity for my child to participate in. And the day of their Halloween parade, I always kept my kids home. For the most part, I will say that I have not encountered a teacher that was my child's teacher over the years that gave me a hard time with that. They did, respect my decision as a parent and, excluded any kind of Halloween, any kind of activity. Now, harvest is different. I believe in harvest, right? I plant, I'm a gardener, we go to the cider mill and all that kind of stuff. So if they were doing stuff like painting pumpkins or, painting leaves or anything like that, making crafts and stuff out of corns or different things like that, I'm cool with that. But if it had the word Halloween in it, I was not on board. And to this day, I've practiced that. My older children, my 2 older children, they have gone to some Halloween party stuff as adults, not as minors. As minors, we were aligned. Everything was good. As adult, they've shared with me that they've gone to Halloween parties, and we've had conversations about it. Now, so elementary was easy. The teachers, fell in line with my personal belief and my parenting beliefs. Middle school was a little challenging because they go from class to class, and then high school is the same. But in middle school, they pretty much made a decision. So if the class was doing anything, they would choose to go to the library or the computer lab. So, they were old enough to advocate for their own beliefs and did not participate in Halloween. But elementary school, I was very present and really, communicated with both the principal and the teachers as to what my personal beliefs were. And I still practice that today. I'm a firm believer that if you are a person of faith, if you read anything in the Bible, it doesn't support or celebrate in anything that has to do with scaring people and, anything like that. For me personally, I believe that's playing with the negative spiritual piece of our reality, right? We know there's a heaven and we know there's a hell. We know there are good angels and we know there are dark angels. And so for me, anything to do with scary costumes and witch's brew and, all of that, for me, that's all demonic, and I don't play with that at all. And so I practice that to today. For the most part, most of my friends at church do not celebrate Halloween. We do the whole harvest festival, you know, the church community, no scary costume, anything like that. And they typically don't call it a Halloween party. It's usually Harvest Fest or family fun night, something like that. But yeah, so this topic of Halloween has come up many, many times since I've lived in the United States. And even an example, when I was a teacher, because my background is teaching, I've not been in the classroom in about 7 years, but I had a teacher assistant, a teacher partner, who, unbeknownst to me, I didn't even know this was a thing, but she told me that she would travel from state to state and go to haunted houses. And I was like, wait, what? That's a thing? And she was like, yeah, it's fun. And ooh. But, you know, she was not a believer. And, you know, I found that very interesting. Very, very interesting. But again, we live in a free country. You do whatever you want. That doesn't hurt other people. And so it was just a learning curve for me, because I didn't even know that existed. Because I've mostly operated inside the church and in a protected group of devout Christians. But yeah, I find it very interesting that the topic of Halloween keeps coming up, especially October. You know, all of the haunted houses are set up now, you know, in the malls. And even if you try to go to a cider mill or anything like that, they've got a whole scary section, which is the main reason why I never go in October. I go in November with my family. But yeah, I wanted to share my personal belief on Halloween and my position and my experiences with it over the years. Share in the comments below, are you a believer? And if so, do you celebrate Halloween? Where do you fall in this whole debate of Halloween? I want to thank you so much for stopping by my channel. If you have not subscribed to my channel, what are you waiting for? Come on over, join the community, subscribe, like, comment, share, and save my videos. I do a variety of videos. But thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. Have a great day, guys. Bye.